Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the score was 106-103, and the Lakers win the battle LA, baby. Damn right. So, a lot of people may not be so happy about this because they were hoping Darvin would be fired at the end of this game. But the way I see it is, I was much rather beat the Clippers than to fire my coach at the end of the day. Though that's something that we were calling for before this game, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, I don't want to fire him as bad as I want to beat teams. And when it comes to the Clippers, there's nothing more important in the regular season besides beating the Celtics and beating the Clippers. Now, when it comes to the main goal is to win the championship. I know for them, the Clippers, the main goal is to beat us, which makes it even that much more sweet. But we got the win, man. We got the win. Bron James had a spectacular dunk, man. One of the best dunks I've seen him do in a Laker uniform. Just jumping from maybe one step inside the free throw line, hammer it home on a fast break from coast to coast. It was one to see. And when you see James Harden's reaction to it, it's going to be an all-time meme. James Harden, they had an overhead from behind the backboard, and you could see James Harden's face. It's absolutely classic, almost as classic as the dunk. But yeah, man, that was awesome. And then we saw another fantastic dunk off a putback, where it was Christian Wood having a putback on a miss from D'Lo at the rim, both in the same quarter in the third quarter. So those were two spectacular Laker versus Clipper all-time great Laker highlights, in my opinion. Those were just fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, man. I started having link issues down the last 2 minutes of the game. So somewhere between the 3-minute mark and the last 15 seconds, I was having real trouble. But I did see LeBron James turnaround jump shot in the 1:15 mark or something like that. He hit a mid-range jumper that I thought was really dope. And certain things like that I was able to see fragments of, but the link was giving me very serious trouble down the stretch of the game. So I thought that was just very cruel as a Laker fan, but I'm glad we won the game. And I definitely saw Ty Lue use his final timeout with 2 minutes to go, which I thought was really questionable. I saw us not foul at the end of the game, and Norman Powell almost made the game-winning shot, and it just kind of rimmed out. And I didn't think that was a good coaching decision. You got to foul there to keep him from taking that shot if that shot falls. We're in overtime right now against a team that we know we probably ain't going to beat on most nights. All in all, I think it was a really good show from Bron and AD. Got to give them credit. Bron had, I think it was over 25 points, 7 assists, 8 rebounds. Anthony Davis, I believe, had like 22 points, something like that. 22 points, 3 steals, double-digit rebounds. Don't quite remember the stats, as I never do. Got to give Taurean Prince credit. He hit some threes down there. I think he was 3 of 6 from behind the arc, 4 of 6 from the field. I think that's how that went. I'm not really sure, but he definitely had 13 points. Austin Reeves had 8 points. Not a classic Austin Reeves game. Not a master class from Austin. He was locked up pretty good, but did hit a game-tying free throw after missing a free throw that would have basically iced it. So we really had some frustrating moments down the stretch in the clutch. But we won the game. D'Lo was cold through 2 quarters. He was really freezing. But once he started getting it going, his shots were the ones that kind of gave us some nice distance in that third quarter. Hit a couple in a row, and made a mark on this game. So welcome back, D'Lo, helping us win that game, even though his shooting numbers will show you that it was a very tough night shooting the ball for D'Lo. Max Christie had a good, efficient game. I think he had about 10 points. He's starting to get his real legs underneath him, man. His jumping ability. We talked about Sean Marion being able to jump fast. Max Christie is showing us he has a jump fast ability. Two-hand dunk situation down there in 2 games in a row. So I'm loving the minutes that he's giving us, and I want him to continue to attack the rim. The 3-ball did fall for him tonight as well. So that was good to see. Cam Reddish hit 2 threes in a row. That was kind of nice in the second quarter, I believe it was. Had some steals stuff, a couple turnovers though, but all in all, I thought he made his mark. Christian Wood had a pretty good game out there. 9 points, 10 rebounds. Definitely love what I saw from Christian Wood in 16 minutes of play, which should have been a little more, if not a lot more, if you ask me. Coach just don't be playing him enough, man. Bottom line, he just don't. That boy would be in regular rotation, probably getting about 25 minutes a game if I were coaching this team. I mean, Christian Wood is one of our best players. I don't understand why we don't use him more. And even though, like I said many times on this channel, his defense ain't stellar. He be messing up on defense a lot. But he also uses his length well to block shots, and people think because he's a bad defender they can lay the ball up over him, and it's just a mistake because he ends up getting those blocks. He ends up being a hustle player. He works hard, so it makes up for some of his deficiencies and misreads. And I think all in all, when you couple that with his ability to play the offensive end at a high level, you just can't really justify his lack of playing time. You really can't. You would get so much more out of him if this coach just believed him a bit more. And I thought he showed that tonight. I think his 3-point shot is underrated. When he takes threes, just like Anthony Davis, I feel like they're better shooters than their percentage shows. And if you give them more attempts more consistently, you'll probably see that percentage raise based on good form. But for me, I'm gonna be honest with you, the game was about Vanderbilt's defense. Even though the stats show you he only had 4 assists, 4 rebounds, like 1 point, I thought he might have been a player of the game for me. I think I'm gonna give him the game ball just off of the strength of how efficient he was guarding those Clippers. You know, one of the things that makes us a good team matching up against the Clippers is the fact that we have Vanderbilt, Anthony Davis, Taurean Prince, all these lengthy guys, LeBron James. But Vanderbilt was just switching off on people, just guarding the heck out of people. And as I said once before, randomly on this channel, Vanderbilt is a player who can make assists. He showed me that when he played for the Utah Jazz. He would have games where he'd have like 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 points, stuff like that. 14 rebounds. It was a stretch where I had him on my fantasy team, and I could count on him to get me assists. And I just don't think we've seen that at all as a Laker. We just have not unlocked that ability. But he can give you 5 and 6 assists a night. And that's how he contributes on the offensive end. So I'm glad we were able to see a little bit of that tonight, and hopefully we can start seeing that for real, because that's who he is. He ain't going to score much on the offensive end, but he can make plays for other people, and I thought he made a concerted effort to get passes off and ultimately helped us in that way. But his defense was just it was, you know, it was his length and his hounding of others that just ultimately changed so many shots, tipped so many basketballs. Matched up so well against guys like Kawhi Leonard and Norman Powell, and those guys couldn't get nothing going. And I think he had a massive to do with just the overall togetherness of tonight's team defense. And we were just so much better with him on the floor, in my opinion. Even though he wasn't scoring, what he was doing to make them bad offensively was priceless. So I'm giving the game ball to Vanderbilt. Even though you could clearly give it to Bron and AD, the superstars. But for me, I just know the difference. The difference was we had that player on the floor coupled with everybody else with length, working hard, and just ultimately having just enough length and just enough energy to stop this team. We had the length to stop their wings. That's what they have, is a bunch of wings, ball handlers, one-on-one guys. If you got the right one-on-one defenders, which we do, you can neutralize them. And I got a weird feeling that the Los Angeles Clippers, if we're all healthy, and we are a good matchup for them this season, because of the Vanderbilts, because of Cam Reddish, because of Max Christie, because of LeBron James and Anthony Davis, we got just the right type of pieces to attack what they bring to the table, their strengths, in ways that I don't think most of the league does. So they would be wise to avoid us. Just for defensive matchup purposes. That's what I'm starting to understand. We've won 2 games against this team now, and I don't think it's a coincidence. I do not think it's a coincidence. And so that's what I'm telling you guys. We low-key appear to match up very well against them defensively. And that ain't good for them. They don't want that. So that's what I want to say, man. We might want to hold on to our defensive players after watching this matchup, because I do think that Rob Pelinka might have been looking to kind of attack this team when he put this thing together. So yeah, I love what I'm seeing there, man. I'm looking at a win like this, and I'm saying to myself, Okay. All right. So I can see what it is that we need our defensive players for. Maybe we should not shop the Max Christies and the Cam Reddishes and stuff like that. Because if you move those pieces, you play this game again, you ain't going to win. It's that simple. You play this game again and you ain't going to win. You only win because you have those phenomenal defensive one-on-one players with length and height to match up with the Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Norman Powell's, and James Harden. And when you consider James Harden and Norman Powell and how poorly they shot tonight, when you look at Kawhi Leonard and see how poorly he shot tonight, you know why that was. It's because of them type of dudes, and that's why I think Vanderbilt was so important tonight. With Christian Wood, they all just used their length so very well tonight, um, and it kept the Clippers in a very poor shooting percentage. It broke their 5-game winning streak. Um, and I mean that's what it really comes down to. They just ran into a team that matches up with them just right. And so I'm excited about that. I really do think that the Clippers are one of the best teams in the Western Conference, and I really do think that we could possibly be their kryptonite this season, looking at how our team is constructed right now. Now, how many of these dudes are going to still be on the team after the trade deadline? That's the problem. We may have a different team by the time we see them again, but so long as we don't move the wrong pieces, we should be able to match up with them like this every time we see them. So that's what I took from this basketball game. We match up well with the Clippers, and so yeah, man, great win for the team. Darvin saves his job for at least for another night. We got the Raptors coming in on Tuesday, and that is a big game because we know that's Quickly and Barrett in new threads, and those are team players who both kicked our behind last time we saw the Knicks. In fact, they were the main ones kicking our behind last time we saw the Knicks. So we're gonna have to put up with them and everything else that the Raptors are doing, where they're winning every game they play, and since they made that trade, they ain't lost nothing. They beat the Warriors tonight. But Battle LA is ours, man. You know, we've already won 2 games in this series. We got 2 more against these clowns, and I'm very happy to say we won the one on our home floor tonight. So yeah, that's what it really comes down to. Can't complain when the Lakers win. Ain't gonna hear me screaming and hollering about bad coaching decisions, although there were some. Pulling Vando off the floor at a certain point when we were doing what we were doing. They got close again. Not fouling the 3-point shot down the stretch of the basketball game. You very lucky Norman Powell didn't make that shot, Laker fans, because that was a very good look for Norman. And even though he was cold on the night, that thing could have went. It just simply could have went, and we should have fouled them to assure that never happened. So there was stuff out there, man. There was stuff out there, but at least we got the victory tonight and got some really good highlights out of the game. And fought hard. I thought the energy was good. I thought guys used their length very well. The superstars showed up, obviously, and the role players showed up too. And we appreciate having D'Lo back hitting big shots at key moments, even though he bricked damn near everything else outside of those key moments. So maybe we can hit him and Austin to play well in the same game someday. Maybe, just maybe. But all in all, this was a good game for us, man. I thought we used our minutes well. No Dylan Windler tonight. We didn't see Dylan. Is that his name? I don't know if I got his name correct in this video, but I've said it right the other times. We did not see our new guy tonight, but you know what I mean. We do have him available to use, and hopefully we'll get him checked in against the Raptors. But this was a good, excellent victory for the Lakers, man. Excellent victory for us, especially given the fact the Clippers been winning 5 games in a row, and it just speaks to sometimes matchups, man. Sometimes it really just comes down to who you match up well against, and when it comes to the Clippers, we just happen to match up very well with them this year. That's my God's honest opinion, man. I don't think it's much deeper than that. And when the Clippers overshoot like that, it really helps us. They shot the 3 ball very poorly. They shot the 2 ball very poorly, and a lot of that, if not all of it, was credited to our defense and the active hands out there, and just how well our defensive players really played tonight. So that's why I wanted to get the ball to Vando, man. I just really look at his stats and know damn well that the stats didn't show what he really did out there. They did not show what I saw, and he was hounding them people, man. He was hounding the hell out of them. So was Cam Reddish. So was Anthony Davis. It was just a defensive clinic out there for the Lakers, and it showed in percentages to the Clippers shooting the ball. So very pleased with this win, man. Y'all know I ain't got too much to say when the Lakers win. Coach lives to fight another day. We'll see how what people have to say about this game. I'm curious to see what people think. Like I said, there were things out there that you just say, you know what, our team drug this coach to the victory. It wasn't just because he did all these great things. Nah, not really. Not really. But all in all, I think we pressed the right buttons tonight. And that's why we are 2-0 in the season series against the Clippers. So, Battle LA is ours, baby. BDL 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.